I am joined by Dustin Poirier. He's going to be fighting Anthony Pettis this Saturday at UFC Fight Night 120. Dustin, how are you?
Doing good, man.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you taking the time, especially during fight week. And were you excited, though, when you found out you're fighting Pettis, just with the fact that he's a fellow WEC alum like yourself? I know how proud you are to have been a part of that organization. Does that kind of make this matchup a little bit more special?
Hell yeah, man. This is a WEC main event. This is incredible. It's fun, and it's a great matchup for the fans. It's going to be a hell of a fight. And he's a former world champion, so that's another great reason for me to take this fight. 2 champions in a row. Going to show what kind of fighter I really am.
And with the fact that you both fought in the WEC, was he someone you've had on your radar for a while? Like, did you envision a matchup with him at some point down the line?
I never really did, but I knew we were both young, and I wasn't surprised whenever they called me with this fight. We're both young and veterans and been on WC, now in the UFC. So we fought on a lot of cards together. We've been around each other. It was just bound to happen.
Excellent. How do you feel like you match up against him in this fight?
I feel like I can beat him anywhere. I feel like I can kickbox. I can outstrike him on the feet. I can out-wrestle him. I can submit him. It's a fun fight because both of us, our fights are battles on the feet, battles on the ground in the past, so it's just a fun matchup. This fight can take place anywhere, and it probably will take place everywhere.
Excellent. And of course, he moved back up to 155 in his last bout. He fought Jim Miller. What did you think of his performance in that fight? Do you think that was the type of performance that, kind of tells people he's back, or what were your thoughts on it?
I mean, Jim's a tough guy to look great against. I fought him in February. He's a vet. He has a lot of tricks and traps he sets, and he's just he's always been around and always been relevant, fighting the best guys. He like I said, he's a tough guy to really, really shine against, and everybody knows a win over him is a good win.
Yeah, it certainly is. You come from a great camp and American Top Team, lots of bodies there. Who are some of the main guys you've been putting in time with ahead of this matchup?
Thiago Alves, Mark Diakese, Will Brooks are a few guys who really helped me this camp.
That's excellent. And how about the weight cut getting down to 155? Do you do anything in particular, for your weight cuts, or is it just sort of, eating clean and everything else?
Throughout camp, I eat clean to get as low as I can, but then out here, it's obviously flushing all the water out, dehydrating a little bit, and cutting the salt and all that stuff. Even though I moved up to 155 a few years ago, it's still a pretty tough cut to make it. A lot goes into it.
And we just had Halloween recently. I guess you had to give all the Halloween candy to your daughter and, stay away from that stuff with the fight coming up?
Yeah, man, I didn't eat one piece of candy this whole training camp. So, yeah. But, I'm not a real big candy guy. I like food. I'm not a real big sweets guy.
Okay, fair enough. Did you dress up for Halloween? I saw your daughter was dressed up as a Minnie Mouse or something you posted on Twitter there.
Yeah, no, I didn't. I mean, I don't even know the last time I dressed up for Halloween. I don't really get down like that.
Okay, fair enough. I mentioned being an American Top Team. One of the big topics right now is just, the comments that Colby Covington made, just as a teammate of his. What were your thoughts on what he had to say, last week, about Tyron Woodley and obviously about Brazil?
I think he's doing what he needs to do to get the title fight, to get fights, it seems to be working for a lot of guys. They talk a lot of shit and say a lot of stuff and get the headlines, and then they get big fights. So he's just working the game.
Fair enough. How do you sort of see this fight unfolding on Saturday?
You're going to see me being patient and calculated, and I'm going to find openings and holes in Anthony's game and make him pay for it. This is, like I said, a fight between 2 veterans who are going to be out there doing what they do best.
You've seen a pattern with fighters who fight against Anthony Pettis. They get title shots. Eddie Alvarez got one with a win there. Max Holloway got one. Do you feel like a win here is going to propel you up into the title talk picture?
I mean, this is my 21st fight with the organization. A win over Anthony Pettis is going to put me right at the door to the title. It's either going to give me a title shot or it's going to give me one fight away from a title shot.
Excellent. And do you feel like in order to do that, you have to finish him in this fight, or are you just mainly just going out there and looking for the win because he is a former champion?
Right. I'm just going out there and looking for the win by any means.
Excellent.
Whether it's beating him every round or finishing him in the first, the W is all I'm after.
Before I let you go here, I asked all the fighters this. What are you watching right now on Netflix? I'm sure you're a busy guy during training camp and everything, but if I logged onto your account right now, what would it say under continue watching?
The last thing I just finished up was Stranger Things.
Oh, excellent. Season 2, right? I imagine?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Okay. And what'd you think of it so far? Have you gotten through it, or are you still just chugging away at it?
No, I'm done. I'm done with it. It was pretty good. You know, it was. We watched. Me and my wife this camp watched a few things. We watched Ozark was a good one. We went through, and then Stranger Things. I thought it was pretty good. Stranger Things kept me interested, but I liked the Ozark a lot better.
That's good. How important is that time, to get that chance to just maybe throw on a Stranger Things or something like that, to just take your mind off training? Because I imagine at times, can be very consuming on you, just, training and focusing on the upcoming fight.
Yeah, it's good just to unwind a little bit, decompress, man. I'm in the gym 2 times a day, every day. So it's good to have a little family time with my wife and my daughter and just relax a little bit.
Excellent. All right. Well, Dustin, best of luck Saturday, and thank you so much for the time.
Thanks, man.